Okay, good evening. Thank you for coming over. We are very pleased to have you here today with us, distinguished guests. We had this morning a seminar with the German and the Israeli scholars discussing 10 negotiated agreements that practically shaped the reality in over the globe in the last 100 years and changed the lives of hundreds of millions of people.
I don't think your microphones are working.
I think he does, but he does. Well, we are all.
No, it's not.
All right, I'll try to be to speak a little bit louder. Anyway, what we found out during this seminar this morning, the German-Israeli seminar here at the INSS, is that there's a lot of similarity, despite the caveat of the different circumstances and times and parties concerned and issues, a lot of similarities in the characteristics of the negotiations and the way to ending a conflict almost everywhere in the world. And we talk about the common denominators of protracted conflicts and all kinds of bloody disputes that ultimately ended. So we talked about leadership, we talked about trust, we talked about determination, we talked about courage, but mostly we talked about negotiations, which, in my opinion, is the one and only tool in our toolbox to resolve a conflict that is an intractable one and that is a multidimensional one, like the one that we are facing here in this area. We need a vision of peace. We need hope. We need to understand that when we live under a conflict situation, this is the only thing that we know. We are not open to other opportunity, to other possibilities. It's very hard to imagine that this conflict might one day eventually end. But just like that, it happened elsewhere. So we drew lessons from other places, from other times. And I believe that all of us, the scholars who participated in this seminar and this evening as well, will take some lessons home and think about them in a way to move forward. The Center for Applied Negotiations at the INSS, at this institute, is launching a series of workshops to address the lack of knowledge about the power of negotiations and around negotiations. Just, the fact that someone is talking to you and someone else is listening to you, and you do the same with the other party, learning about the other. So this project that we are now sharing with you is a project that combines historic and political research with design and art, which is quite exceptional, I believe. It's a joint initiative of the Center for Applied Negotiation, the INSS, and of course the Goethe-Institut. So it is my pleasure and honor to call my partner, Wolf Iro. Where are you? Here. Go ahead.
Thanks very much, Gilead. I'm very happy to be here and very happy to see the fruits of 1.5 years of work on the walls now. I can remember how, yes, it was about 1.5 years ago that David Gordon from the INSS came up to us, suggested a project on negotiations. The reasoning behind it being that what sticks in people's mind most of the time is military engagements, is indeed when negotiations fail, or when contracts are being ruptured, or are when somebody withdraws from a contract, like say, for example, in the case of the American-Russian contract, well, we suddenly remember, oh yes, there was such a negotiation that took place. And so this was the reasoning behind it, and well, we sat together and devised an idea of how to, well, counterbalance that a bit, and soon, well, we came up with a solution to engage art students from the Sher College here in Israel, in Tel Aviv, and the UDK, the Universität der Künste in Berlin, to work on one negotiation each. But of course, these negotiations aren't their particular expertise. What they are very good at is designing the posters. This is what we see. So the input had to come from somebody else. So we looked out for experts on these various topics. And the INSS and the Goethe-Institut, together we found these experts, German experts and Israeli experts, who then consulted these different artists in their work in order to produce these posters. You see all their names on the signs next to it, and this is not just to just as a formality, but this is indeed a joint work, and I'm very grateful for all of them. So thanks very much indeed. Well, I want to cut it short in order to give my all the participants now enough time. So please allow me just to say a couple of words of thanks to the people that made this project possible. So, so next to the partners mentioned, the Sher College, the UDK, the INSS, and the Goethe-Institut, well, we today, well, we this event takes place also with the help of the embassy, and the project as such was done in cooperation and with the support of the German-Israeli Future Fund. So these are the institutions, and now I would like to point out a couple of names. On the side of the Sher College, we had as an artistic director of the project, we had Itzik Rennert and Deckel Bodrov. On the side of the Universität der Künste, it's Henning Wagenbrett. Henning is there. And next to them, we had 4 people playing an important role in making this project possible. This was Constanze Hein. From the UDK also here. Thanks a lot. Zeavit from the Sher College. She couldn't come today. Moore Ben Khalifa. Well, where is Moore? Thanks so much, Moore. And finally, Luisa Rath from the Goethe-Institut. Thanks so much, Luisa. So. This is all I want to say. I think it's a very important exhibition, and this is really the last, which will travel not only in Israel, but also in Germany, and hopefully to many venues. And I'm very positive that this will be so. Thanks to you for coming, and let's hope for a very interesting afternoon. All right, and now I'd like to give the word to Her Excellency Dr. Wasem Reiner, Ambassador in Israel from Germany. Thanks very much, Frau Wasem Reiner, for being here, for sharing your ideas on negotiations, and you're very experienced in this, so I'm very much looking forward to your thoughts on it.